You know, we spend a lot of time thinking about performance reviews, right? Hitting targets, meeting deadlines, all the stuff in your job description. But what if I told you the real secret to an incredible team, a place that's actually amazing to work at, isn't found in any of that? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden force that makes good teams truly great. So let's just start with this big question. What really makes someone a great employee? Is it just the person who crushes all their individual goals, the top salesperson? Or is it the person who, on top of doing their own work, somehow makes everyone else around them better too? Yeah, it's that second person we're going to focus on today, the one who goes that extra mile. And to really get it, you got to see the difference between two kinds of behavior. On one hand, you've got your in-role behavior. This is the simple stuff, right? It's what's in your job description. It's what you were hired to do. But on the other side, you've got extra role behavior. And this is all the stuff you volunteer for, the things that are not technically required, but that help out the whole team. This is where the magic happens. Now, this extra role stuff, it actually has a name. It's called Organizational Citizenship Behavior, or OCB for short. And this definition from Dennis Organ back in '88 is pretty much the gold standard. Let's just break it down real quick. Discretionary means it's your choice. No one is making you do it. Not directly or explicitly recognized means you're not doing it to get a bonus next week. And here's the kicker. When you add up all these little actions from everyone, they promote the effective functioning of the organization. It's the small things that build up to something huge. So, what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, it's been broken down into 5 key areas. First up, you've got altruism. This is just pure helping, like when you take a half hour to get a new hire up to speed. Then there's conscientiousness. This is about doing more than the bare minimum, like getting your part of a project done early so you can help out someone else who's struggling. Third is sportsmanship. And oh man, this one is huge. It's about having a good attitude, finding solutions instead of just complaining when things go wrong. Number 4 is courtesy. Think of this as heading off problems before they start, like sharing some key info with your coworkers so they don't get blindsided. And finally, there's civic virtue. This is about being an active participant in the company, volunteering for that charity drive, or actually showing up to those optional company meetings. So getting people to do this stuff isn't just a nice, fluffy, feel-good thing. It has a massive, real-world impact. We're talking about the extra mile payoff. And honestly, when you see the results, you'll see why OCB is basically a business superpower. And I'm not just making this up. The numbers are pretty staggering. Studies have shown that companies with high levels of OCB see their overall effectiveness jump by anywhere from 18 to 38%. I mean, think about that. That's not a tiny little bump. That is a massive, game-changing advantage, and it's built completely on things that aren't even in anyone's job description. And it doesn't even stop there. You get this incredible ripple effect. When people are good citizens at work, you see way lower turnover, and people call in sick less because they actually want to be there. Productivity goes up because everyone is helping each other out. And guess what? That leads to happier customers. Plus, it becomes a magnet for the best talent. I mean, who wouldn't want to work in a place that's positive and cooperative? Okay, so we know what it is. We know why it's so important. The million-dollar question is, how do you get more of it, right? You can't just order people to be good citizens. So let's look at a blueprint for how you can actually build a culture that encourages this. Unsurprisingly, it all starts at the top, with leadership. When you have leaders who are supportive, who build real trust, they create a space where people feel safe enough to go the extra mile. And when a manager actually sees and acknowledges these extra role behaviors, even just with a simple thank you, it sends a powerful signal to the whole team that this stuff matters here. Next up, and this is a big one, is job satisfaction. It's one of the strongest predictors of OCB we have. It's really simple. Happy employees are helpful employees. When people feel good about their job and they're genuinely committed, meaning they actually believe in what the company is trying to do, they're so much more likely to chip in with that extra effort, voluntarily. This next one is absolutely non-negotiable. Fairness. I mean, think about it. If you feel like promotions are biased or you're not being treated with respect, why on earth would you volunteer to do anything extra? That feeling that things are generally fair and that you're treated like a human being is directly tied to your willingness to go above and beyond. And finally, support. This is all about the feeling that your boss and the company as a whole actually values what you do and cares about you as a person. When people feel like the organization has their back, they're much more willing to put themselves out there and help out because they know they're in a supportive place. Now, as great as all this sounds, it's not a magic bullet. You have to be careful.
there are a few hidden pitfalls with OCB that you really need to handle with care. Let's look at 3 big warnings.
First, and this one is really important to be aware of, is gender bias. Research has found something pretty troubling. Men often get rewarded more for doing these good citizen behaviors than women do. And why is that? Well, it seems to be because helpful, cooperative behaviors are sometimes just expected from women. It's an implicit bias. So when they do it, it's not always seen as going above and beyond. Managers have to be super conscious of this. Second, if you're not consistent with how you recognize this stuff, it can totally backfire. Imagine you stay late to help a coworker and nobody says a thing. But then the next week, someone else does it and they get a shout out in the all-hands meeting. That doesn't build teamwork, it builds resentment. That feeling of unfairness can actually make people do less OCB, not more.
And the third pitfall is a bit subtle. It's conditioning. Look, there's a really fine line here. If you reward OCB so consistently that it just becomes expected, well, then it's not really voluntary anymore, is it? It just becomes part of the job. The extra mile becomes the new baseline. And at that point, it's not OCB anymore. It's just more work without more pay.
So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. Organizational citizenship behavior isn't just a personality trait that some people have and others don't. It is a direct result of the culture and the environment that you create. It really is the secret sauce for a great team. And you know, this isn't some hot new management trend. Way back in 1938, a guy named Chester Barnard basically hit the nail on the head. He said that an organization's success depends on the willingness of individuals to contribute cooperative efforts. This has always been the key. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question. It's easy to think about this stuff from a big company-wide perspective, but OCB is built one small individual action at a time. So what's one good citizen action, one small helpful thing that's not in your job description that you can do this week?